If you are watching right now, this is the replay. We are no longer live, but welcome. I feel like it's been so long since I've had a live, but it's only been like a week and a half, which is crazy. I'm gonna wait for all my TikTok friends to jump on and then we will get started. Excuse me. I've had some allergies. Hi, you guys. Hello, happy Friday. Hi, Dawn. We're doing something a little bit different today. As you guys know that I am moving shortly in a couple of weeks and I will be without my sewing machine. Hi. So I wanted to find some different avenues that I could work out my creativity instead of going mad in a hotel room. Hi, hey Becky. So I found something that I really like and I wanted to share it with you guys and maybe like sew a little bit of it while I'm live. So this is a bag that I made with what's called t-shirt yarn. So it's a polyester, which makes it really silky and smooth, but it gives it a little bit of elasticity and really pretty finish when it's sewn or crocheted or whatever. So this is kind of what the pattern that I was going for this bag. I haven't finished it. I kind of set it aside because I wasn't really feeling, I feel like it's off like 1/4 of an inch right here when it's closed. So I didn't really finish it. Thanks. Hey Deanie, how are you? But this is one that I did. I'm going to show you guys a couple of them and then I'm going to kind of show you guys how I did it. So if you follow me but you don't sew, but you are interested in maybe making a bag or something similar like a wallet, these can be made into wallet. I'm going to show you how I do it. So this is one, I haven't attached anything to it because like I said, I didn't really like the finish of it. So that was one of them that I made. Here's another one. This one is just 100% crocheted. I put a little closure on it. Again, I wasn't really feeling it. My husband didn't really like it. He said it was kind of floppy, but I mean, it's super cute. I could definitely see myself wearing one, like with jeans and like a white t-shirt. But I added some connectors and then just a little chain strap on it. Packing up now. Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of packing. They are coming to move our stuff on the 12th and 13th of June. So I still have about a little less than 2 weeks. Happy Friday, Nancy Bear. What else? So then I started on this one and I decided to add a lining to it to see if maybe that would make me like it a little bit better. And for some reason, I think this one was just a little bit too small, but I really like the pattern on the outside. So this is what it looks like. And then I just added some sides with a little D-ring. It might be a little hard to see. Hey, Just Mammy. I'm just showing off some stuff I've been working on since packing up a little bit. But this one, I stopped working on this one because again, I thought it was a little bit small and I wasn't in love with the lining. I had to hand sew this. I don't know if you can see the little white stitches, but I had to hand sew this to the actual yarn and I just wasn't really feeling it. So I found something else. I cut out a different little pattern with this plastic mesh canvas. And then I created the same pattern with the same t-shirt yarn. And I'm really feeling this. I actually like this a little bit more. So I just worked out a pattern where I have two sides. These have the D-rings in it. And then this is going to be the bottom. This is going to be the front of the bag. And then this is going to fold over like this. Oh, thanks. So this is the first time that I've ever made this. I remember like growing up, I saw the plastic mesh canvases for like coasters, and I've seen somebody make one for like a tissue box covering. Old school. I'm talking like 30 years ago. This is called a plastic mesh canvas. If you're, I'm gonna upload this to my YouTube, and I'm gonna go ahead and link. I got this yarn from from Amazon. I got this from Amazon. I found another company that sells t-shirt yarn, and they had a lot more colors and options, and so I ordered some yarn from them. It just hasn't arrived yet. It's on its way over here. But I'll link everything that I've bought from Amazon to make this in the replay. Kleenex covers, yep. The coasters, yep. What is the technique called? I have no clue. I don't know, because it's not really sewing, because you're really just, and it's not crocheting, because you're actually just threading it through. So I'm not really sure what the actual technique is called. But I'm going to show you, I just left one row empty so I can go ahead and do one on live. So let me set these aside. And all I'm using, I got this little needle with an eye in it, and it's bigger than like a regular size needle. So for example, on this bag, I'm going to use these magnetic snaps as a closure, and I got one that you can sew in instead of the ones that I typically use. Needle point on plastic canvas. Okay. Hey, Amanda. So I'm going to sew that in, but this is a traditional, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, how small it is. This is a traditional needle for sewing, and then this is the one that I have for the yarn, so it's much bigger. Okay. I really love this yarn. Like I said, it's stretchy, but it's soft and silky. It actually reminds me, all of my old school girls from LuLaRoe, if you remember how soft their leggings are, it kind of has that same feel on it. A derivative of cross stitched. Yeah, possibly. All right, so I got to make sure I get enough, because you don't want to stop halfway through a row, which I found out early in the process, because if you do, you'll have to connect it, and then you get these little bunches right here. So after I did this, I learned I need to make it long enough so that it will go down the entire row without me having to connect another piece, and then you can just seamlessly hide it behind the stitches. Yeah, it's called t-shirt yarn. Yep. So I'm just gonna take one end, get that on the needle. They have plastic needles also if you don't want to use a metal one. The plastic one I feel like has a bigger eye, but it also makes it a little bit more challenging when you are going through the square, because the squares, I go through them twice when I connect a row, and so it limits the space for the needle when you have all that yarn in those boxes or in those squares. So I just bought this little metal needle. Love it. Okay, so let me see if I can find, there's only one distinct way that I can tell that this is the front. Okay, so this is the front. Sorry, my allergies have been killing me lately. So what I do for these rows on this size, and I will give the pattern in the YouTube video when I upload it, but it's 7 boxes, and I start, so we've got, including this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna start in the 6th row and then come up. This takes forever. Just these pieces right here that I have, it took me like a total of maybe 9 hours, and I'm still not done. But again, I was looking for something to pass the time, especially during my move. And then you're just gonna thread it through your squares. And then the thing about this yarn, it does get a little twisty, and to make it nice and smooth, you wanna make sure that once you pull it through, it's lined up straight. And then I'm just going to weave it to the left, excuse me, and pull up and then go through. And then just keep going all the way to the top. So what have I missed? I feel like I've been gone forever, but it's only been like a week and a half. Anything exciting? And then as I sew these rows, I'm going to keep this tail behind. And so it's just gonna get sewn over as I go down. Nothing exciting here. This has, yeah, I really like it. And actually this one, after I finish this, I'm probably going to redo this pattern because I really love it. Do I make crafting bags? No. Oh, you were a little early. Yeah, I'm just tucking it behind and it keeps it really tight so that tail's not moving anywhere. Even if I pull on the tail, I don't know if it has to do with the plastic or if it has to do with the angles of the box, but like it does not unravel at all. And I just weave it back and forth until I'm done. Did you see my email? I have not, Holly. Did you send it to me today? Aren't they pretty? I got, what do I have? I think I only have like 4 or 5 colors right now, but I have quite a few on the way. I think I have like another 5 or 6 colors on the way. A while back. No, can you resend it to me? For some reason I didn't get it. And that's it. Just weave it back and forth. So what I've been doing is like, I don't know if you guys know, but during the day I work full time. I usually work about 10, 11 hours a day on average. So I really don't get a whole lot of downtime. So every time I move, I just like to sit in front of the television and catch up and watch shows, stuff that I don't normally watch. So like all day yesterday, I was in front of the TV for 8 hours and I can't even remember the last time I've done that. I haven't moved yet. Nope. Probably like cool strips. Yeah, alternating directions. Yeah, like one this way and then one the opposite way. No, I haven't moved yet, Cindy. We are packing up the house on the 12th and then we fly off the island on the 23rd. Last time you were on live, you checked it. I prefer starting back. Yeah, it definitely gives it a lot of structure. So like this one right here, this one has it also. Let me see if I can move it so you can see this one has that plastic grid. Once it's done, you can't even tell that it's plastic, but it makes it like super sturdy. Did we find a house yet? Yes, we actually signed a lease last night. So that was one thing. It was a mess, you guys. We had one lease that we were looking at. It fell through, which I think in hindsight, it was like a blessing that it fell through. But then we found a house that was bigger, nicer, and closer to my husband's job. So it was like, it was perfect. Hey, Lisa. So now it's just kind of like a waiting game. I gotta wait for them to come pack up the house. Then we're gonna be in a hotel on the island for like a week. And then we get to Virginia on the 23rd of June. And then I actually got us some flights to go visit my mom at the end of June. And then we move into our new house on like July 15th. And we don't even know when our stuff's gonna be delivered yet. So we'll just be in a hotel and at my mom's house, fishing, checking out the new neighborhood. I've never lived in Northern Virginia before, so we're already on Google Maps trying to find like what restaurants we want to try, what fun things we want to go do. Now when I'm done with this, I'm not sure I want to use a chain for it. I'm actually thinking of maybe like crocheting a little handle for it. I'm not sure. Or maybe I'm going to try a couple of different things. Do you get stressed with moving? I sure do. Yes, I do. I think just making sure everything like comes together. It never happens super easy. So with the process, yeah, I think once we nail everything down, like the lease thing, I think I was the most stressed out about because we're leaving in a couple of weeks and we didn't even have a place to live. So I get stressed until things are in order. But we have pretty much everything in order right now, so I'm not really stressed. So like packing up the house, that's gonna be fine. I've done it so many times. I know what to expect. There's never really any hiccups involved. We have an extra week from when the house is supposed to be packed up till we leave the island. So if anything happens, if there's a hiccup with that, we have room. So we like to kind of plan worst case scenario and give us, you know, extra time just in case anything happens. But I don't know what it is about this move. Like, I just have a sense of peace that everything is going to work out fine. Yeah, I'm still in Hawaii. I'm making a bag. So something similar to this, but it's going to be a lot bigger, wider, and taller. Hi, Maya. So as you guys see, I mean, it takes, I don't know how long I've been on live. 15 minutes almost, and I've only gotten like a little square, a half a square done. So as I'm sewing over the tail, it's just getting hidden. But that's all I've been doing, sitting on the couch, watching television, and just stitching back and forth. So glad for you, nothing better than, yes, my mom's had moving back from Hawaii. Oh, fun. So when I do this to make sure that it's not twisted, I just kind of follow the strand all the way down and then pull it through, and then you can just manipulate it by twisting it or turning it if it, for some reason, it doesn't lay straight. And then just go back and forth. This is a very different view, I know. You guys are in my dining room too. I'm not even up in my office anymore, my sewing room. So see how it kind of gets twisted up? That's it. And then you want to stretch it so that there's a little bit of tension, but you don't want too much or else your bag or whatever you're making will warp on you like that. So you want to make sure that the tension is right. There was, I don't know if it still is, there was an active volcano on one of the neighboring islands, and like it's called VOG, V-O-G, all of the smoke and ashes and stuff like that it produces from the volcano gets brought over to our island, and it really just trips out my allergies. I get headaches really bad. Hey, Christy. What are you working on today? So this is going to be my new obsession until I get all of my stuff moved into my new house. It's just something that I can do, something that's going to pass the time while we're moving. And it's just, I don't know, somebody said needlepoint, which actually makes really good sense. But it's a plastic canvas with t-shirt yarn. And these are just individual pieces to a bag that I'm going to be making. And then at the end, I'm just sewing all the pieces together. Instead of sending you an email, yeah, of course. Sorry, I didn't know if it was something private, but yeah. Ask away. I just wanted to check in with everybody, see how everybody was doing, let you guys know that I'm still alive. Thanks, Christy. And it's super simple. I mean, it definitely takes a long time, but there's not really a lot of thought that goes into it. You just kind of design whatever pattern you want and then just go back and forth through these squares. The ashwood, yeah, I get really bad headaches, and then, yeah. And it's crazy because I'll have a headache Last week I had a headache like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Thursday I get on TikTok and I watch a video somebody uploaded about the volcano that's erupting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense right now. My husband and I are going on a Hawaiian cruise in the fall. Ports are Hilo. God, I don't know, look kind of, okay. That sounds like fun. You know, as long as I've been here, we've never visited a different island. We've always just stayed on Oahu. Every like long holiday when like Memorial Day or Labor Day or, you know, any Independence Day, I'm always like, hey, do you want to go fly to the next island and check it out? To my husband, and he's like, no. Just about everything on this island is on that island. So I've always wanted to go to another island, but never worked out. Trying to decide on excursions is overwhelming, I can imagine. I'm sure they have a lot of stuff to do too. So tomorrow, we're actually going zip lining. My husband set it up, so I'm not really sure of the excursion. But we rode horses on the island. We went on a helicopter tour since we've been here. That was probably my favorite thing to do. It was like a 45-minute helicopter ride and we saw the entire island. We like flew right into mountains and we were able to see like waterfalls. Have you found a new home? Yes. We signed our lease last night. Gotta run to my gate. Okay. Holly. Yeah, let me scroll back and see. I see. I didn't see a question that you sent. We're on ziplining. Yes. We usually go ziplining everywhere we visit. Even when we lived in Texas, Austin, we found this a really great place to go ziplining. It was a bunch of fun. But riding horses on it, yeah, it was. Because the way that, the path that we took was around the outside of a mountain and the mountain overlooked the ocean. So you got mountain and ocean during the ride. It was so pretty. And I went to see the volcano eruption up close with the locals. Yeah. A lot of people, especially if they live on different islands, will fly over there and see it. I don't think I would feel comfortable doing that or getting that close. You just never know. Holly, for some reason I haven't gotten your question yet, but I do see your comments. I got a compliment just today on the bag and Bill felt I bought. Oh, that's awesome, Susan. What was the print? Hey, Cassie. This process would go so much faster, excuse me, if you didn't have to pull the entire string of yarn through every row that you do. So if you make something smaller, like this one took no time at all because the string of thread wasn't nearly as long as what it is now. I think I'm being filtered, possibly. Typically, if you are, you get a notification that you're being filtered though. Hey, Susan. I am doing great. This has been like a little vacation for me. I pack a couple of things like the first couple hours of the day, and then I sit in front of the television for a couple hours a day, take my dogs out for a long walk, come back, sit back in front of the television. It's been great. We the People. Oh yeah, that's such a popular print. I really love that. My purse. Got that. This last row kind of twisted up a little bit. I separated my question. Teacher book bag like my purse. Are you asking for a teacher? Oh, you know what? I think I do remember seeing that. A custom order. So I'm not doing custom orders right now. I'm actually done with custom orders until I move into my new place, if that's what you're asking. We won't be in the new house until after June 15th. I mean, we'll be in there on June 15th, but I don't know when my business stuff, our household good, is going to arrive. But I'm opening up my custom orders after I get set up in my new place. Right now, everything's done. When you get settled, can I get a book bag like purse? Yeah. Yeah. Are you in my Facebook group, Holly? I post all of my updates in there as far as custom orders. So once it's back open, there'll be a post in my Facebook group. I too get compliments all the time for my purse. Oh yeah, the wolves. What is it called that you're making? I honestly don't know the technical name for it. It's kind of like needlepoint, but this is a plastic mesh canvas, and this is called t-shirt yarn, and I'm just weaving it back and forth to make different pieces for a bag that I'm going to make. So this bag is gonna look kind of like this. I didn't put any closure on this one because I wasn't sure if I wanted a lock clasp like this or if I wanted like a magnetic clasp, but it's going to look very similar to this when it's done. And that plastic mesh allows you to create different patterns, and it also makes it really sturdy, like really stiff. I used to do oh, did you, Angela? What'd you make? Okay, I put something in there, but not sure if I put it in the right place. Yeah, so there's nothing going on right now. My custom orders are closed. Thanks, Kelly. They take a really long time. But, I mean, it's perfect for someone like me who literally has nothing else going on at the moment. Is this pattern you bought for what you're making? No, I just made the pattern. I just made the pattern up myself. But it's really just rectangles. So, like, the width, this is going to be the front of the bag, which is this right here. So the difference between this bag and this bag is that this is one full piece. So you can make one full piece if you want, like this, and then you can roll it up. You would definitely need something longer than this, and then just decide how long you want your side and then do it like that. Just add a side to it. But these are different pieces. So like this is going to be the front of the bag, which is this part right here. And then the bottom, I actually created a separate piece for the bottom. And then for the sides, I created two separate pieces for that. And then this is going to be the back part before the bottom. I really like the way it comes together with the stitching. I actually just stitched all the way around the side. And so I wanted a bottom piece to have a separation of stitches, which is why I created this pattern. But I mean, it's super easy. You just really decide how you want your sides, how tall you want your bag, and then you just create the same pieces, and then you decide how wide you want it. And then for the bottom, it's the same size as that, and then for the back flip over part, it's going to be like that. So it's just a pattern that I just came up with. And I'm going to put this in the replay, and I'll go ahead and list out, I'm going to list out where I got all of the material, but I'll also list out like how many squares that you will need to cut for each piece. I can give the pattern that I'm using. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kate. But I love this because it's literally like mindless. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to connect pieces and make sure that they're perfect. You just stitch back and forth. I've gotten through like almost an entire season of Teen Mom. You said your D-ring is down to the plastic. Yes, I did. Yep. So I don't know if you can tell, but those are stitched horizontally into each one of the pieces while the string goes across the entire thing. So this right here, they're not sewn into each square on the canvas, but the D-ring is, and so it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Same thing for these. They are sewn into each of the blocks underneath that, and then I just did the weaving over top of it. But if I get a chance, I can do like a full tutorial on something like this. Because again, you don't have to know how to sew to do this. I love it. Hey, Katie. And I found a couple of tutorials on YouTube. I'll link the ones that I've watched. There's not a ton of them. I don't know if this just isn't a big thing that people do. I actually just saw it on Instagram one day and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And there aren't obviously tutorials on Instagram. It's just like a quick video, a couple of stitches here, a couple of stitches there, and then it shows you the final. So I did a ton of research. I found some, like 2 tutorials on YouTube, and then I just kind of tried a couple of different things to see what I liked best. Loving these types of bags. Thanks. The back burner for now. Yes. An arm workout for sure. For sure. Which is good because I don't really work out my arms a lot. Normally when I'm sewing, I'm just like moving the fabric back and forth. So this has been a really good workout. It's called Plastic Canvas. Mary Maxim sells a bunch of kits. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I've never even heard of Mary Maxim. Is that like a person or a business? Are you all packed up? No, I pack a couple of things here and there. I'm really just doing a whole lot of prep work before the movers get here. They don't get here until the 12th, so I have plenty of time. So like in the morning time, I'll pack a couple of things for a couple of hours and then I'll just relax. But we'll be all packed up on the 13th of June, so we still have a little bit of time. So I'm just kind of taking this as like a little vacation. The only thing I dislike is how much the yarn twists up. I mean, it's an easy fix, it's just a mild annoyance. And I mean, you don't even have to do that. Like this one, when I first started doing this, you can kind of tell where there's a little bit of twisting right here. And when I showed my husband that, he was like, that is not like your work. You need to make it a little bit more clean. I think that was the word that he used, a little bit more clean. So, I mean, even if you let it twist up, it's really not that big of a deal. But you guys know me, I'm a perfectionist, a mild perfectionist. Good gift idea, I agree. Thanks, Susan. I haven't finished it yet, but I might do that over the weekend. Let me go ahead and pause because I haven't really thought about what I wanted to do for the handle. But I'm thinking that I'm probably going to crochet something. Now, let me tell you guys, I learned how to crochet when I was like, gosh, 10, 11 maybe. And my mom taught me, so I'm not classically trained. I know what a half crochet is, a double crochet, but that's about the lingo that I know. So like if you guys ask me what the pattern is or what you do, what I have to do, I have no clue. It's kind of like someone who learns how to play the piano by just listening and they couldn't tell you like what note, you know, anything is. That's exactly how I am when it comes to crocheting. So don't ask. If you want to mix up and do different handbags during your hiatus, Rob really has to. Okay, good to know. I don't even know how long I want to make this thing. I was thinking about doing like a little handle at the top. So maybe I'll do that with crocheting, and then maybe I'll do a chain for like a crossbody or shoulder vibe. I wish I lived closer. I could teach you crocheting or the plastic canvas. Make it a little longer. So like this bag I crocheted, it doesn't have the plastic canvas in it. And I've made like scarves and hats and blankets, but I think that may have been like the first bag I've ever crocheted. Oh, did you, Dawn? Or have you? I have too. It's just always been super basic. So, let's see. I'll probably just, is that a single crochet? I think that's a single. But I've been all over Instagram, YouTube, just watching all kinds of tutorials. I swiped out. Oh no, I do that all the time. Welcome back, Def. We switched it up to crocheting. I used to make really elaborate Edwardian. Oh, cool. Did you sell them or did you just make them? I like how peaceful this is. Like you can just sit and listen to a book or watch a movie. during the winter, so not so much here in Hawaii because there's not a winter, but like during the winter time back on the mainland, I would always do some sort of crocheting at nighttime. Like after I got off of work and after we had dinner, we would sit down and watch TV. I would always be crocheting something. I have an important question for you. Does your new home have a sewing room? So in Northern Virginia, a lot of the houses have basements, and this house that we have has a finished basement, and I will be using the entire floor, which I believe it's like 16 feet, but no, like 20 feet by 21 feet. I will have the entire basement for my sewing room. Very important question. Have you tried those chunky big yarn blankets? I have not, but I love the way they look. The only thing that I can't really wrap my head around, and I've seen people make them, is like using your fingers to like do the whole thing. I think that would be a little bit weird. I'm not jealous much. Yeah, that was really the main thing that we were looking for in a house, is a sewing room, because like it's just my husband and me and our dog, so we don't need like a ton of space. The only thing that really takes up a lot of space, I mean, he has like military stuff that he has to take with him from house to house, but my work stuff is really what causes the need for so much space. But this house has like 3,000 square feet, so it's huge, and it really only has 2 bedrooms. It's kind of weird but super cool, the layout of this house. So it's a 4-level home, so you have the basement, which is just a wide open space, and it actually has like a built-in bar, which with a bunch of cabinets, which I'm definitely going to be using for storage. And then the main level is, you know, the kitchen, dining room, living room, family room. So there's 2 like different, a living room and a family room. That's on the first level. And then the second level, or 3rd floor, is the primary bedroom, and then across the hall it's another primary bedroom. So there are 2 huge bedrooms with their own bathrooms, huge walk-in closets. So those are really the only 2 bedrooms in the house. But then above it, on the 4th floor, there's like a really good loft size area, and you know, it could be made into like an office or even a bedroom. We don't foresee like a lot of people coming in to visit, so like the second bedroom is definitely going to be like our guest room. And then the 4th floor, the loft area, we plan on just throwing like a couch in there, a desk, and then like our workout stuff. We have like a treadmill and a rower and some other stuff. So it's a huge house. It's 3,000 square feet, but the way that it's laid out, the rooms are huge. I know. Like I said, this one is so much better than the one that I was telling you guys that we were about to sign a lease on that fell through. So I'm super excited about it. So the only thing I'm not really sure of with this handle is that the t-shirt yarn is kind of stretchy. So I can already tell that that's probably going to be too long for just a handle at the top of the bag. Like right here, I probably should have made it half the size because of the stretch. Or I could weave something in. I don't know. Let's see. Everything happens for a reason. I 100% agree with you. You could actually crochet around a piece of rope. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So I can just make this flat, and then I can actually just add a rope down the center and then just join the ends of it. I still have a feeling that it's probably going to be a little bit long. That's a great idea. I do have rope. Hey Sherry, are you in the US? Yes, I'm in Hawaii. We'll be moving around the end of June. I can't wait. I'm so excited. James Bond. No, thank you. What are you making? A bag. So right now I'm working on a handle for a bag. So I'm making a bag similar to this, but it's gonna be in this really pretty dark teal, which is actually the color, the exact same color of some vinyl that I have. So I've even thought about making like vinyl accents for it. I could always just sew up a strap with the teal vinyl that I have because it matches perfectly. But I'm looking for things to keep me busy while I'm going to be away from my sewing machine. So I don't really want to rely on that. I need to perfect a handle. But rope, that's easy. I don't need a machine to be able to use that. So I might wind up doing that. Am I left-handed? No. I think the video, I didn't mirror it, so it might just look that way. Rebecca, I made the row quit. Oh, that's awesome. Did you find it easy or was it challenging? I think the first time I made it, it was a little difficult. You're going to be closer to family. Yes, much closer. I actually have a sister that is going to, she lives in Northern Virginia and she's going to be like 45 minutes away from me. I have a niece that's going to college in Arlington, which is only like 15 minutes away from me. And then the majority of my family lives in the south part of Virginia, and that's only a few hours. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Yeah. I like the stretch of it, but I don't like the stretch for the handle, obviously, because you don't want it, you know, bouncing up and down on the top of the bag. What material are you So this is called t-shirt yarn. It's really soft. Excuse me. It's polyester, but it's really soft. It is stretchy, and it has like a curve to it. So it's flat, but it has a natural curve to it that curls in to the center. So you have a flat side and then you have this center side. So when I'm doing this, I try to keep the flat side visible and not twisted, which is why I was making sure that I was twisting it correctly while I was working on that. How long were you in Hawaii? 3 years. 3 years. I know, I'm really excited, Susan. What material are you crocheting it with? Are you asking about like this right here? I'm very intrigued by this project. So this is called plastic canvas. I actually got some at Walmart, but the squares that the one Walmart has was just way too small for this material because this is a thicker material. So the ones that I bought at Walmart, I think it was like $3 for a pack of 3 or something like that. That would be perfect for like regular yarn. But if you're using t-shirt yarn, which is thicker, you're gonna want your holes a little bit bigger. So when I upload this to my YouTube later on today, I will link exactly where I purchased this mesh canvas as well as this yarn. It's called t-shirt yarn. And I think where I purchased it from on Amazon, I think they have like 10 different colors available. I bought this one, these 2 colors, so like a tan and then like an olive green. So all of these colors I bought from the same supplier on Amazon. I'll link the where I purchased the yarn and the plastic canvas. And then I just used some little D-rings that I had, which I can link that also. I bought those on Amazon. And then I bought this chain from Amazon as well. So I can just link all of the items that I've used to make the different bags. Was it kind of expensive living there? It was not kind of expensive living here. It was expensive living here. Could you make with the canvas a handle? Yeah, of course. So you can cut the canvas and then, yeah, it bends. So I could definitely make one. I just kind of wanted to have a different kind of look. Instead of having the straight or even the diagonal, I just kind of wanted a different kind of texture to it, which is why I thought about doing this. But what I will probably wind up doing is just taking this all apart when I'm done and maybe trying a little handle. Let me go grab the canvas that I got. So this is the one that I got from Walmart. They come in really long sheets so you can cut them to size. But the holes on this one were a lot smaller than the holes on the different one. And again, because of the t-shirt yarn that I'm needing, I needed bigger holes than this. So I'll keep this and probably use this for something different. But this is the one that I got from Amazon. It came with quite a few sheets, but they're really long. So like I could just cut a strip right here and then add some yarn to it and make a handle to it. But again, I wanted to just get just a different type of texture and different type of weave to the handle. Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, I'll probably wind up redoing this. And you can probably do it. Let me grab a piece of scrap. You should, I mean, theoretically, you should be able to crochet on here. That's good. Let me cut it down just a little bit. I'm doing this for the first time, so don't judge. When you're cutting it, I have found that you want to cut right along the edge of one of the straight lines. You don't want to leave anything jaggedy because then obviously your thread or yarn or whatever you're using will get hooked on that. So let's see what we can do. What size crochet hook? This is 6.5 millimeter. Oh, I think it's going to be backwards for you guys. Let's see what we can do. Can you add it to the canvas? Can I add this? Yeah, when I'm done, you would just sew it down. Excuse me. So like when you're done, you can just add it like this. I could probably just add it right here along the edge. Back in the day, Mom used to make little hooded blankets with embroidery yarn and that plastic. Yeah, we were actually talking about that earlier. Like this, I remember from the 80s, like 90s, early 90s, where people used to do crafts with that. I remembered it, but I never thought to use it to make a bag. But it makes perfect sense because it gives it such great structure. All right, let's see what kind of handle we can make. I'm just going to use the end of this needle to just push this up. don't even know where to start. I'm going to chain a row that is the same length of this. I made a photo album with the, oh cool, I bet that was awesome. How did you add your photos? Or did you use like paper? It would have been the 80s, yeah. Let me think. How can we incorporate? I wonder if I would have to have like a row of something and then crochet off of it. I might have to do that. So like with this is the side to my bag. I could probably crochet off of it. Look. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I think I'm gonna have to do a row of stitching on the plastic canvas. If I decide to do that, I might just use a rope because that might be a little bit easier. And then I can just crochet along the outside of it just to give it some depth and different texture. I'll have to figure that out. Make a base and then, yeah, I think you're right. Use plastic for front and back. Stitch the word photo on front. Oh, cool. You could just slip stitch across that short edge. Let's see. So how would I connect it though? So like I can't put this into the box, it's too wide. Let me see if I have a smaller crochet hook. I think I do. Uh-huh. This one's super tiny. This one is a, I don't know, it doesn't have it on there. That might be too small because it's getting caught. Yeah, I don't know if that would work because it's getting caught. I don't know, I'm gonna have to rethink it. Hey Vivian. Oh, thanks Joanne. Yeah, so this is small enough to go through the box, but to pull it back in, I think the t-shirt yarn is just too thick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that and figure it out. But I really like the idea of the rope, whoever said that. Gotta think, yeah. Cut the material down the center. Cut this down the center? Oh. I see what you're saying. That way I could go in through the center all the way up and then do the same thing on the other side. That's a good idea. Let's see. So. Let's see if that'll work. I think our lawn guy is here to cut the grass. So it might get a little noisy. There we go. This would actually be a really good idea to add a zipper to the top of the bag too. All right, let's see. Let me get this out of the way. Because now we can just go right in through. Ugh. How do I want to do this? It's a little trickier than I thought. The t-shirt fabric. Oh, you're saying cut the yarn down the center. I don't know. I actually kind of like this idea. I just have to think how I'm going to incorporate it over. I feel like I would have to go over and under each side. I feel like this might be working. That works. The only thing is that it's actually going to be hollow at the end. So let's do this. I'm gonna have to think this one through. You might have a new invention. I don't know. I think I might have to think that through. Because I mean, it's given me a row of stitches along the outside of it that I could go back in and crochet over top. Uh-oh. Hold on, this little puzzle piece. That's given me a row that I could crochet over when I'm done, but this is going to be a hollow. It'll be two separate pieces in the center. Unless I do something in the middle to join them. I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to think this one through. Loop the middle together. Yeah, after I do it along the outside, I might have to do that. I make my wreaths with plastic. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, you could do so much stuff with this plastic. I like the kind of braided effect it's giving it. Along the outside, it kind of looks like it's braided. just not sure if it's gonna work. It's super cute though. I mean, the good thing is that I have a ton of time to figure it out. And then if you wanted to make a bag like this with this material, adding a zipper would be too easy. You can do just like this, where you cut out a little hole in the middle, and you don't have to crochet. You can use this pattern and just go in and out all the way around. And then what you would do is lay your zipper on the back, and then you would just use a needle and thread, and you can sew your zipper to the actual t-shirt yarn. So making a bag with a zipper closure would be super easy. I'm just weave in along each side of it. Doing what is that, a half a crochet? But it looks really pretty. I'm probably gonna have to add a couple of stitches on the corner though, just to cover up that plastic. So we're gonna have that on one side, and I might just be able to move my stitches down to cover it up. And then that look on the other side. But again, when we put it on the bag, you can decide which side is going to be right side. So I would sew it down like this. So you would see like the braided effect. Cute. I do not understand how to crochet. It blows my mind. Or curve the corners. Yeah. I would just have to cut it down. Yeah, I could do that. Gives me something to look forward to. Yeah, I could probably just, because I'm not going to want, well, I mean, this is going to be sewn to the top of the bag, so I can make it to where you're not even going to see that anyways, because this is going to be sewn down like this. Like that. So these ends are actually going to be sewn on there flat. But yeah, I actually really like that. I mean, I should be able to do it with just a regular piece without having to make the hole in the middle. Let's do this. Let me see if I can slide this all down. I should be able to do it with just one. So like just taking this part off, I can make it with just one piece. It would be like that. Or I could sew this part down and then, I don't know. There's a ton of different ways I would assume that I could do it. Or curve the corners on your plastic. Let me try one more thing. There we go. All right, let's see what we can do with this. What I'm going to do is leave these last probably 4 squares, so that way I can attach that to the bag, to the top of the bag. Let's see if I can't just do the same thing. Yeah, that'll work. So awkward. Yeah, that'll work. And then I can just attach these 2 on the top of the bag. I think that's really pretty. What kind of yarn are you using? This is called t-shirt yarn. Are you in the process of moving? Is that why you're crocheting? Yes. Yep. I have to find something to fill my time when I won't have my sewing machine. So I decided to look for other kind of crafty stuff I can do. And I found this and I am in love. Look how pretty that is. So I'm just weaving it on each side and then just doing a half a crochet. I love that. I really love that. Gosh, that would actually be really pretty on like a regular bag that I make with vinyl, having something like this just to give it a 3D look. It's really pretty. So I'm just going back and forth doing a half a crochet and then just sliding it down. I love it. So the biggest difference that I found between doing this and sewing is that sewing is so much quicker. This is more of a labor of love. Even not crocheting, even just this right here, it just takes so much time. But it really is pretty when it's done. Thanks, Mona. I agree. So pretty. I love it. But the other handle you had sure went quick. Yes. It's definitely a labor of love. You can use stitches at the bottom to keep it in place. Yep, I sure can. I left a couple of squares open here. That way I can sew it to the bag when I'm done. And this might not even be the final version. I might even go back and change my mind and do something different. Who knows? This is the first time that I'm making a handle for this type of bag, so I'm sure there'll be a couple of different variations before I decide what I like the best. Is the light pink made with plastic? This one, no. This one I just crocheted. Which is why it's much more floppier than this right here, because this has the plastic in it, so it's sturdy. It's not going to bend like this one does. But this is just something I was playing around with. So this is just fully, I just fully crocheted it. And then added some, I added a side, and then I added some D-rings and a chain. But I didn't really like the lack of structure on this one, which is why it's just sitting there. You must have been crocheting for a while. Yeah, like I learned how to crochet when I was like 10. Oh, this one, thanks. And then I did this one. This is just, this is with the same t-shirt yarn. So it's still as thick, and it's still silky. And then what I thought about doing is making like a little clutch. So just crocheting up the sides right here, and then adding a closure to the top, and just making like a little clutch. But the thing about this yarn is that it's heavy. So this right here, I think I used an entire skein or roll of yarn for it, because of going back and forth. These amount of stitches, it doesn't take nearly as much, but this one took like a whole skein, and so it is much heavier than this right here. And that's why after I did this and folded it up and thought about just sewing down the sides right here and then adding like a magnetic snap on each side for a clutch. But it is definitely, it is weighty. It has some weight to her. It would be more work, but you can crochet all around the plastic. Yeah, you sure can. It will definitely use more yarn, and it will add a little bit more weight. But yeah, I mean, sure. You can crochet around the plastic, and then you can just join them together. Yeah, I mean, between the plastic yarn and a crochet needle, I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. And again, I'm probably not even gonna sell any of these. Just one, it's kind of like a quilt where it takes so much time, people aren't probably going to pay what the time is worth. So like these pieces right here, these, and then all of this minus this row right here, took me like 9 hours to do. And so I don't think that I could put a fair price for my time that people would be willing to purchase it. So I'm not doing this to make money. This is literally just something that I'm doing to pass time until I get moved into my new place. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been live for like a little over an hour. I gotta go have some lunch, probably take my little puppies on a walk, and then go back upstairs and start packing up some more stuff. But it was fun hanging out with you guys. Like I said, I knew that it had been quite a while since I had gone live, so I just wanted to jump on and see how everybody was doing. Yeah, I'm still in Hawaii. We're leaving at the 3rd week of June. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks, Susan. You too. Have a good weekend, everybody. Maybe I'll jump on next week and show you guys what I've been able to do. Bye, Deanie. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.